from YouTube, Bill. Once again, Danny Savage, Draft Guru. Listen, man, if you like the video, give it a subscribe, give it a like. It don't cost a dime. Listen, you got to do ways to make some mock drafts funner. So today is going to be Dallas mock draft 90.0. Nate Dogg in the house. Nate, what time does Mania start later? I don't even know. I haven't seen a Mania since they buried Sting in the NWO. I boycotted them. But I think Mania is today and tomorrow. Yeah, I've boycotted WWE since then. I went to Ring of Honor and New Japan. AEW, I just can't. I try. Maybe, man. Okay. So, like I said, man, you gotta I try to talk about a lot of different players, and so from now for the next few days. So today's gonna be Dallas Mock 90.0 SEC edition. Only plays from the SEC because ironically Dallas never drafts the SEC. And I also did a trade back, a mild, you see you see a lot of trades. Somebody will go from 20 to 18 and get a 2 or 3 and a 4, and it's just, And the only reason I did the last couple with trade backs is because I can see them trading back, to be honest with you. So long story short, at 12, we made a trade with Tampa. So we moved from 12 to 19, and we picked up Tampa's 53. They got our 12. At 19 on the board, and this kid is not getting the love he deserves. From University of Tennessee, James Pierce Jr., edge. 6'5", 243. Yes, I get it. He has to get bigger. But, this kid, 2024, he had bad year. He had 8 sacks. Playing in a rotation. In 2023, 10 sacks. Once again, playing in a rotation. But let's be honest, man, all the big schools, and people are down on this kid for playing in a rotation. Who doesn't? Like Georgia does, Bama does, Texas does, Michigan does, Ohio State, Penn State, all the big schools rotate. But a lot of people are down on this kid and Omar Norman Lott. He's a big one tech I like because of the rotation, which I don't get, but it's like people pick and choose for schools they want to pick and choose the players they want to pick on. 6'5", 243. He has a variety of moves to beat you. Right now, it's mostly speed. The sky's the limit for this kid. This kid could be a crazy sleeper. It's ironic to call first round a sleeper, but he's someone that's not getting the attention that he deserves. And like I said, he just has to put on weight. I don't care what you weigh at training camp. I care what you weigh week 17. But he's younger, and it's probably going to take a year or two to put weight on him. I don't see him as a project. I do see him as he's going to have to be in a rotation, but I see him as a day one starter in the NFL in a rotation, which pretty much everyone is. And at worst, he could be a third down pass rusher, but he's definitely a step in and start edge, in my opinion. Not getting the love he deserves. At 44, we got Walter Nolan, Ole Miss. 6'3", 305. My personal opinion, he's a 3, but he has a little 1 flash in him. He's a Tasmanian devil, man. He really is, man. 28 tackles, 6.5 sacks. A lot of. I've seen mocks him going late 1. My opinion, he's going to come off the board early 2. In my opinion, with this draft, you're going to see the big ones go first. The big 1 techs, in my opinion, are going to go first over the 3s. But yo, the 1 techs, entry techs, bro, they stretch the entire draft. They do stretch all 7 rounds, even into undrafted free agency. At 53, yo, people, ironically, bro, people talking about this kid going to Philly, and just 53. Mason Taylor, tight end, LSU. His father played for the Miami Dolphins, Jason Taylor. So, bro, you're going to laugh, bro. Yo, you can't beat genetics. You can't. So you know he has good genetics. He's 6'5", 255. My opinion, he had 3 solid years. I think his best football is ahead of him. He had a modest 55 catches, 546 yards, and 2 TDs. His best ball is ahead of him. And ironically, some people got him going to Philadelphia at 32. Nate Dogg, I've heard there is a question about Nolan's love for football and that he doesn't give effort every play. Do you see it? I'm going to be honest with you. Very rarely do I see players give effort every single play. I'm going to be honest. I truly don't. And I say that when I do my mocks and I break down players. I said, yo, there's like if a kid's a bulldog, like blue collar monster that comes at you every play like it's a Super Bowl. I've said that about kids. That's crazy, bro. Doesn't love football. Imagine, well, you're going to laugh. Kids like that, though, a lot of times, listen, he got a bag to play at Ole Miss. Maybe he was playing not to get hurt. You're going to laugh. A lot of guys do that there last year. And the crazy part, I mean, he had 26 tackles, 6.5 sacks. But you're going to laugh when you play not to get hurt. That's when you get hurt because you're thinking. You're not loose. You know what I'm trying to say? So sometimes that'll backfire at you. But this draft is crazy. One team is going to have some guy with a 2nd round grade, and another team is going to have that kid with a 6th round grade. The grades are all over the board with this draft because it's lacking superstars. Bro, I'm hearing Shador is dropping big time. Big time. Do I think Shador will get past Pittsburgh at 21? No. But for someone that was talked about as, the 1st pick overall, the 2nd pick overall, I'm hearing he's dropping like the Titanic. But then this could all be just internet chatter, and he could go in the top 5. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. It could just be a team in the back, talking about that, wanting him to slide. He ain't never getting past Pittsburgh. Next, 76, this kid's not getting enough love. And ironically, he's one of the only true centers in this draft. Jared Wilson, center out of Georgia. Charlene, good afternoon. Boom. Thank you for jumping in the chat. This kid sat behind Cedric Van Pran for a long time at Georgia. He's raw, very raw. That's what she said. He has 12 starts to his credit, but he saw a lot of snaps coming in when Georgia was blowing people out. He's seen a lot of snaps the last few years playing behind Cedric Van Pran. And for a kid that's not that big, he's only 6'3", 310. He has almost 11-inch hands. So you wonder why he's a center. Centers have to be able to be a multitasker, think, call out the blocking coverages, the schemes. Then when the quarterback audibles, same thing. His best football is ahead of him. I just think he's just raw, man, raw. But I don't see him getting out of the third round. I don't. The only problem is, I'm not lying, man. There's like 10 guards that have center flex. He's just 100% center. At 149, I love this kid, man. I don't think he's getting enough height. People are like down on him about his size, and I just don't see it. Like, why they're down on him so much. Dylan Sampson, man, Tennessee running back. 5'11", 200. He had 250 carries for 1,500 yards and 22 TDs. This kid can fly. You give him a crease, he's one move, he's going straight down the field, man. He has one thing I would say. I don't see him I shouldn't say that. He hasn't proven it to me yet that he can come out of the backfield and be a third down receiving back, but Tennessee didn't use him that way, so I don't want to shit on him and say that. But he is vastly, vastly underrated, in my opinion, in this draft. I was gonna drop some sleepers today, but nobody seems to like the sleepers. I'll drop some sleep. I got 3 sleepers. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 sleepers I'm gonna drop on Monday. We're getting close. We're getting close. I pick 174, Kentucky. This is more of I like this kid a lot, though. He had Deone Walker playing in front of him. So, when you have 6'7", 360 pounds in front of you, that does help. But he's a day 3 pick, and I think he's solid value. And he's also, like, the last couple of drafts I've been doing with our defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, he likes bigger linebackers. So this kid, Jamon Dumas Johnson, linebacker, Kentucky, 6'1", 245. He's built like he's rocked out, man. Who's the linebacker for the Cincy? Takeo Spikes. By no way am I saying his neck is as big as Takeo Spikes. But, he's shorter and he's just stocky and jacked. 6'1", 245. 40 tackles, 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 interceptions. Very, 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 very active. And we all know the Eberflus dude loves bigger linebackers. Next is a kid. How can I phrase this? To me, he's a sleeper. I think some people got him crazy high. But, bro, his stats are crazy, man. But I think he's a one-trick pony. He's just a go long, every play, wide receiver to stretch the field. And that's not bad. But, this kid can fly. Antoine Wells Jr., wide receiver, Ole Miss. 6 foot, 205. He only had 28 catches for 563 yards and 6 TDs. That's a 20-yard average per catch. So the reason why I think he's going to drop and be get great value is the fact that he ain't gonna run. He's not running a complete route tree. He's not. He's just there to stretch the defense. So that and there's a lot of wide receivers like that in this year's draft. That's why I think he's. I don't think he's gonna go as high as a lot of people think. But yo, crazy value, crazy speed. But is he a good fit on Dallas? No. Maybe for Milton. I haven't really looked at Milton a lot. Joe Milton, the backup, but he's a big kid, man. Milton is big, the backup quarterback, man. He has a cannon. And I'm sorry, we've never seen it because they haven't let him. Will Greer has a cannon of an arm. Will Greer has a bigger cannon than Dak Prescott, and I'll put money on that, man. Next is a kid he's not getting talked about at all. He just has to get bigger. At 211, Tonka Hemingway, defensive tackle, South Carolina. 6'3", 288. That's not going to fly in the NFL. But I say that, but yet it can. He's going to be he must, in my opinion, the mad scientist in me, I want to get him bigger. 6'3", 288. 17 tackles, 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble. He's a rotational piece. Kind of on the older side, so I think that might drop him a little bit, but I had him at 211. Like I said, this is an SEC draft, so we're just, you know. Next is at 217. Bro, this kid is a sleeper. Nobody's talking about this kid. Texas defensive tackle Vernon Brown, 6'4", 310. It seems like just everyone's focused, and I love Alfred Collins from Texas. I do. I'd be shocked he gets out of round 3. I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if he gets out of round 3. I actually see Alfred Collins going like round 2. But yo, Baron Sorrell, this kid, the other teams like the other Texas defensive linemen are not getting love. But Vernon Broughton, defensive tackle, Texas, 6'4", 310. In my opinion, he's a 1 that has 3 flexibility. I would play him at 1. Yo, and he has length. And he even has the frame to get bigger. Ridiculous. Day 3 value on this kid, and nobody's even talking about him. Next kid at 239 is a straight blazer. Everyone knows I've spoken about him. I'm very high on him. Keandre Lambert-Smith, I picked 239, 6'1", 190, ran a 4.38, and he plays faster than that. He has good size. He has good hands. He just earlier in his career, he played at Auburn for only 1 year, but earlier in his career, he pretty much wasted 3 years at Penn State with a quarterback that couldn't get him the ball. And like I said, this is an all SEC draft. And at 247, we're going with Nazir Stackhouse, defensive tackle, Georgia, another giant 1 tech, 6'4", 330. I'm not even going to give you stats on him. He's just a bulldog in the middle to just, ironically, I called him a bulldog and he went to Georgia. 805 Vaughn, thank you for jumping in the chat. Zach Martin said we had good enough teams to win, but we shit down our legs. Listen, man. Zach Martin is a perfect example of just another player the Jones have wasted. Let's be honest. I know, like maybe about 4 years ago, people wanted to trade him for Jamal Adams and shit and stuff like that, but which would have been like the worst trade in history. And The Jets fleeced Seattle. Jamal Adams is out of the league even now. But all I'm just trying to say is JB, the Cowboys fan, boom. Thank you for jumping in the chat, man. Quarterback couldn't get it done. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. This is just my opinion. I got ink blasted everywhere, and I got my shins blasted too. No joke. When I was 19, got my first tattoo, and ironically, it was on my shin. Yo, and I saw stars. And then I got my shins blasted throughout my life, but I knew what I was going in for. Yo, the fact that Dak Prescott had to listen, bro. You have no idea how many people go for shoulder surgeries, arm surgeries, and never wake up on the operating table going under from anesthesia. Anesthesia is not something you should just be like, hey, yeah, knock me out. When I read that he had to go under anesthesia to get tattooed, he pretty much lost his man card, in my opinion. And what little respect I had left for him, once that it was completely gone. Come on, bro. Like, you playing the end, and then you wonder why. Like, I don't even want to talk about the guy anymore. Maybe Milton will show up. Milton's gonna get a shot at some point. We all know Dak's not playing. We all know Dak's not playing 17 games, bro. Milton comes in. He's a big kid, young, strong arm. Yo, you'd be shocked, man. Zach Martin, man. Yeah. We wasted Tyron, wasted Ron Leary. Travis Frederick's career was cut short because he had Guillain-Barré, something like that syndrome. It's what is it? I'm trying to think what it is. It's an autoimmune disease. And pretty much when COVID hit, he's like, peace out. But I know he took the 1 year off and Joe Looney came in. Bro, that was painful. I'm sorry, man. Watching Joe Looney play center was loony. If I had $1 for every time Aaron Donald body slammed him, power bombed him, it was bad, bro. Dak has wasted JB. Dak has wasted a ton of talent on the Cowboys. Yo, JB, it's funny. I got a video on my channel, and the title is Dak Prescott, the Legend Killer. Bro, he's killed more people's careers. How many coaches has he gone through? How many offensive coordinators? And like, listen, man, I was on the Dak train in 2016. I thought he had it. I thought he had it. Went out, bought my sons the jerseys, all that. It's just he doesn't have it. And what bothers me the most is the content creators. Like, I got just sick and tired like 2 years ago. It's just excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. Is he a good fantasy football quarterback? Yes, because he will get you the garbage time points in the fourth quarter when we're getting blown out. We're getting blown out by 50 points. He'll throw for 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. So that's what people look at, his stats. But let's be honest, in big games, regular season and playoffs, yo, when you see him come out of that tunnel, yo, he has that deer in the headlights look, man. And listen, it happens. Happens to fighters, MMA guys, boxing guys. It happens in other sports too. A lot of people just can't handle pressure. And that's not a dig. It's just the truth. Some people fall apart under pressure. I've been saying for years, I would love to see Dak Prescott in a no huddle offense because it's like he'll do nothing for 3.5 quarters. But then the last 5 minutes of the game, he's unstoppable. But even in a close game, if the game is super close and you give him the ball with 60 seconds left, that's enough for him to march you down the field. So, like, and that's where, like, yo, if you can't, that's why, like, if you can't see he plays better without a net, like, let him play where he doesn't have to think. Let him play like Mahomes. And when I say that, I'm not comparing them at all. I'm just saying play sandlot football, but I'm not a coach. You know what I'm trying to say? In the NFL. But that's what I would do with him. Sweat dripping all down his face, 805 on. Yeah, no, I hear you, man. 1000%. Like I said, 2 years ago, I said enough is enough, man. Does anyone remember the Jacksonville Jaguars game like 2 years ago? Like, they were making, I think he had 2 interceptions. It might have been three. They were making excuses. Would any of these podcasters, like all these YouTubers, would they be making the same excuses if a running back was fumbling 2 times a game, 3 times a game? It's still a fumble, interception. It's the same. He doesn't have to think as much. That's true. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I would love to see him in a hurried up, tempoed offense where he doesn't have to think. Let him call his own plays and play sandlot football. That's kind of what he did at Mississippi State, but he also ran a lot more at Mississippi State. And like what blows my mind is like everyone's all excited. They're like, yeah, Dak, he lost 30 pounds. Why did it take getting paid $500 million for you to lose 30 pounds? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I should be happy that you lost 30 pounds for $500 million. That's your job. You get paid to eat, lift, work out, play football. So you're telling me for the last few years, and how I've said this, breaking down skill position players so many times, and people that watch my channel, because I have a draft channel, if a skill position player is too light, what do I say? You have to put the weight on slowly, because at a position skill level, if you put weight on fast, you're going to see ligaments pop. So what? Were the last few years injuries caused by him being 30 pounds overweight? Yet our fan base is excited that he lost 30 pounds. To be the highest, think about it. Highest paid player in football, lose 30 pounds. I'd lose 70. Whatever, it is what it is, bro. But getting back to Zach also, to be honest with you, like, we wasted his career. I'm not saying we should have traded him to the Jets for Jamal Adams. That was a bad trade, but we were going nowhere. So to be honest, man, and like you see teams doing this too, like when they're going nowhere and they have like one or two good players, they trade them and get draft picks for them. But then, like, I'm a both sides of the coin type of guy. But then we all know Dallas would have just, let's say we would have traded Zach Martin and got draft picks. They just would have drafted like straight hot garbage for them. Is really everyone trusting the way we drafted the last 2 years? It's like JB the Cowboys fans. That's probably why he's been injured so much. Huh? That's a good. It does. The weight is doesn't affect like the big guys in the middle, the trenches, skill positions. Yes, bro. Wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, quarterbacks. As much as 30 pounds. Think about when you go grocery shopping and you're carrying your groceries in the house and you put those two bags down. You just feel like, woof. Now trying to run. How about now trying to run plays? Yo, and you're getting older, things start to go pop. I predict this year he's going to be less mobile with the hamstring. And in my opinion, he's going to have an upper body injury. And I don't wish an injury on anybody. I truly don't. But I think he's going to have an upper body injury because he's going to be using more of his upper body to throw the ball, launch the ball downfield, not his leg. Listen, man, I think what? He snapped his right ankle, I think. I think it was his right ankle. So what? The right ankle, right hamstring, right calf. Now, what do we do? This is my question for all the Dak fans. Let's say Dak does go down for like 3 games, and the backup, Milton, whatever, comes in, and he goes off. What are we going to do? Throw him back on the bench, I guess? I guess you got it, right? Paying Dak what? A quarter of a. Listen, but this is what blows my mind, though. In his career with Dallas, $500 million. But then we have content creators that say, oh, I don't want to talk about a man's pockets. But it's okay for the working man to, instead of going to Disney World, we're going to say, yo, we're going to Cowboys to watch a game and take his family and fly there and get and hotel and drop 5 Gs, to get a warm beer and a $30 cold hot dog. Fuck his pockets, though. But guys don't want to talk about guys' pockets like they want to be friends with them. I don't want to be friends with you. I want you to win. That's it. And this is where there's a big divide between the old cats and the young cats. When you're a Dallas fan, there's only one answer. You win the Super Bowl or the season was a failure. Yet our fans are still bitching about a second place MVP. When the fuck did that matter? When I thought football was a team sport. It just shows you the type of world we live in today, man. And I'm showing my age, man. You win the Super. I'd rather go 0-17 than go to the Super Bowl and lose. Legit. It's you win the Super Bowl or the season was a failure. Unfortunately, I think he's going to miss games again, Savage. No, I agree with you, JB. I do, man. I agree with you 1,000%. And if Milton looks good, or if Dallas does throw a draft pick at quarterback this year, which they might, like I said, if Lamb was dropping touchdowns or other wide receivers were dropping as many touchdowns, or if running backs were fumbling as the amount. But to be honest with you, like, is it just me? Does anyone notice when Dak Prescott overthrows wide receivers? It's like by 10, 12 feet. It's not like it's bouncing off the guy's fingertips. It's like 10 feet. That's why my mind is blown that Dallas fans want a wide receiver at 12 to stretch the field when they want a blazer. Y'all can get 1,000 blazers day 3. But you want a blazer when you have a quarterback that's never been known to have a cannon, he ain't no Warren Moon. He ain't no Randall Cunningham. He ain't no Dante Culpepper. Let's be honest. Dak has never had a cannon. That's why, ironically, Emeka Egbuka would be the perfect wide receiver too. But also trenches, because all these fans want to go skill position. But what good is having the best skill position players in the world if you can't keep your quarterback upright? He can't pass on his back, bro, and he's getting older. He doesn't run anymore since he hurt his ankle, and I'm going to say more than hurt it since his ankle snapped in half. He's not a runner. He's afraid to run. He ain't afraid to go under anesthesia, though, to get a tattoo. I can tell you that much, but whatever. Listen, I've just learned not to even argue with Dallas fans about it. It's not worth it. Just move on. But, yo, and not that I'm picking on him. Look, yo, there's Romo. There's Romo's jersey, Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. That's who Tony Romo was. He sucks just as bad. Another one wasted so many players. Another guy fell apart in big games. Another guy, he thought he was Brett Favre 2.0, trying to run around in circles, extend the play. Fuck both of them, man. Romo, a week before the playoffs, him, Jason Witten, go to Cabo San Lucas a week before the playoffs. But I blame how does the owner and head coach allow that, bro? I've said this publicly. If Tony Romo ever gets into the Hall of Fame, I will stop watching the NFL altogether. I'll just stick to my college football and my draft channel. Listen, everybody, thank you. JB, 805 Vaughn, Nate Dogg, everybody that jumped in the chat, thank you so much. Tomorrow, I probably won't be doing it. I'll be back hitting it hard. Monday, I got like 5 sleepers to drop, and I will be putting out my version of my last mock draft on Wednesday. And then I'll be going live Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the draft. And then Saturday, as soon as the draft gets over, boom, we got to start. I'll have all the undrafted free agents for you. Because we all know when you're rocking with the GWO, it's for life, over and out, everybody. Thank you. Have a good night.